Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to react to Dijonay Jones, the worst friend ever. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
I'm sure you're already aware that there's a lot of great Disney Channel shows like Dave the Barbarian, Gravity Falls, Dave the Barbarian, watch it, please. But of course, one of the most popular Disney Channel shows of all time, for good reason, was The Proud Family, which has actually come back in a reboot, and
it wasn't fucking with the DuckTales and the Chip and Dale. It wasn't fucking with them like that, but alright, we'll give Proud Family some credit. Alright, I mean it wasn't Chip and Dale, it wasn't DuckTales, it wasn't even Darkwing Duck, but alright.
It's not bad, it's
terrible.
Anyways, the Proud Family kinda dipped into semi-obscurity for a little while, more often than not being reduced to, hey, remember this? Status. But now people have rediscovered the show and new audiences are finding it, and guess what? It's still really good. Almost every aspect of the show holds up. There's only one that doesn't, and it's not really an aspect, so to speak. It's a character. And it's a character that's hated by almost every fan of the Proud Family, and this is none other than Dijonay Jones.
Damn, y'all hating on a black girl?
Premiere episode of Anti-Character Quest. For those of you who don't know, Regular Character Quest is a show on Media Mementos where either I or the editor Billy take a look at characters we find to either be underappreciated or underexplored, but this time we're flipping it upside down. We're taking a look at characters we just can't stand. And who better to be the first subject of an anti-character quest video than Dijonay Jones? Give her a round of applause, everybody.
Damn, son.
You stink! So what exactly makes Dijonay so bad? Well, first, let me explain who exactly she is and what role she has. She's Penny Proud's best friend. The best friend character can kind of be hit and miss, especially in a Disney Channel show. They can either be the wacky, silly sidekick, or the downer stick in the mud who's always there to say, I told you so. Dijonay is none of these, and on paper that sounds good, but in practice, it's a disaster. Dijonay is the worst kind of friend imaginable. She always says she's got Penny's back. She always says that the two of them are basically sisters. They're inseparable. Obviously, they're just two peas in a pod. But no, that's not true. Whenever the timing is right, Dijonay will willingly and happily stick a metaphorical knife in Penny's back. And then when it doesn't go according to plan, oh, it was okay, that's just what friends do. It wasn't anything personal, she just got caught up in the heat of the moment. Nope. So let me give you some examples of what exactly she does. In the party, Penny finds out that La Cienega, the rich snobby neighbor girl, is throwing a party the same day that she's throwing a party of her own. She expects Dijonay to come to her party because, well, why wouldn't she? They're best friends. But no, Dijonay ditches Penny and goes to La Cienega's party, even though she doesn't like La Cienega, but still she goes because apparently Jennifer Lopez is gonna be there. And then she comes back to Penny's party at the end because, uh-oh, Jennifer Lopez didn't come. No, I'm sorry, Penny, no, friends shouldn't act like this, nothing like that. It's only, yeah, that party wasn't really great. Hey, what's going on here? She ditches her best friend just because it makes her feel happier and it's more convenient. This also happens in Forbidden Date too, by the way. Then there's Adventures in Babysitting, which personally is one of my lesser favorite episodes of The Proud Family. This episode is about Penny and her friends wanting to go to a boy band concert, but then her parents say, hey, you can't go, you gotta watch the twins. Again. And Dijonay's parents say the same thing about her many condiment-named siblings. Penny and Dijonay, being as good of friends as they are, decide to pool their babysitting duties together into one house. Except Dijonay doesn't do anything and she blows Penny off, having her do all the work while she sits back and relaxes. This causes a whole bunch of bad chain reaction stuff to happen, and Dijonay won't take any responsibility for it because she's just being herself. She's looking out for number one. But oh no, she really does care about Penny, guys. In the episode Poetic Justice, she gives this heartfelt poem about just how much Penny's friendship means to her. I don't buy it for a second. Actions speak louder than words, and Dijonay's actions are terrible. But it's not just Penny that gets this treatment. Her other victim, no, I guess victim's right, is Sticky Webb, a boy she has an uncomfortable, unhealthy, obsessive crush on. Sticky has zero interest in Dijonay and is not shy about saying so. Nevertheless, Dijonay keeps trying to win him over. On the surface, it kinda seems like a standard Sonic and Amy kind of thing where the girl really wants the guy and the guy wants nothing to do with her, but that's not really what this is. Dijonay has to have Sticky's loyalty and love, otherwise she just shuts down. Case in point, the episode Surf and Turf where Sticky rejects her on a live TV show. But she doesn't give Sticky this loyalty. She acts really flippantly, just as much as she does with Penny. She not only keeps throwing herself at other guys despite the fact that she says she'd never cheat on Sticky, but also eagerly leaves Sticky in the dust on Wizard Kelly's orders in A Star is Scorn. Once again, this girl has no loyalty. You know who she reminds me of? Peter Pettigrew, aka Wormtail. See, Pettigrew spent his entire life at Hogwarts being best friends with James Potter, Sirius Black, and Remus Lupin. He was part of the inseparable friend group called the Marauders. However, when Voldemort was rising to power, he ended up selling out James Potter, causing him and his wife Lily to get killed just because he wanted safety, because he wanted security. He didn't care that he was betraying the trust of a longtime friend. He had to do whatever he could in order to save his own neck and make himself happy. Dijonay's not only the exact same way, but I kinda think she's worse. Whereas Pettigrew's acknowledged in-universe to be a bad guy, the show seems to think that Dijonay is one of the good guys. She never really does anything good unless the entire group is doing it. She's the first one to sell her friends out or suggest that they do something wrong, but still she keeps getting rewarded. She rarely, if ever, gets what's coming to her. And even when she does, it doesn't stick, because the next week she'll turn right around and do the same thing over and over again. She never has any growth. She never has any development. She's the same way throughout the entire show, beginning to end. Which means that she's only there to cause problems. She's not so much of a character as she is a plot device, kind of like Baby Pooh from the Fairly Odd Parents. You know what makes this really annoying too? The Proud Family has, well, prided itself on its well-developed characters. At first glance, you might see the characters as a pretty stereotypical lineup. We got the silly weird dad, the out there hip grandma, the growing teenage girl, the sassy mean possibly rich girl, all that sort of stuff, but everyone has their own development and growth. They change as time goes on. And even if they start out as stereotypical, they get interesting over time. Like La Cienega, for instance. She started off as your typical bratty mean girl stereotype and then developed to have some more layers. We saw her be self-conscious, we saw her think about others instead of herself. By the time the show ended, she wasn't really so much of Penny's enemy or rival anymore, she was more of her frenemy, I guess, which is definitely an improvement. There's also Sugar Mama, who started off as a funny, yet kinda one-dimensional side character with a lot of sarcastic quips, but then we learned more about her history and her loneliness, and her relationship with her sons. Although it is worth noting that this development happened pretty quickly, but still the point stands. Is it really that bad that Dijonay never had a moment like this? Yes, it really is. She has no redeeming qualities. And she's part of the main cast that we're supposed to root for, which means that we just get frustrated every time she's on screen. And I do mean we, not I. I'm not alone in this. The Proud Family fandom hates Dijonay. You'll find a couple people siding with her, but for the most part, people agree that she's easily the worst character in the show. And she really didn't have to be either. And I'm not just talking about her growing as a person, there's another angle that I think could have worked. If they were really this dedicated to having Dijonay be the character who causes all the problems for the main cast, then maybe instead of being Penny's best friend, she could have been someone that Penny only let hang out with the group because she pitied her. Let's face it, who would want a friend like Dijonay? Not even the Gross sisters would want her to be part of their group. And Penny's a kind-hearted person, she'd see that someone's lonely and want to give him a shot. But then Dijonay would keep blowing those shots, again and again and again. It really is her role in the show that makes her that bad. As an antagonist, she would have been really good. But no, that's not what we got. Instead, she's one of the main characters and one who gets a lot of focus. I may not be super big on Louder and Prouder, but I will most certainly give them a big round of applause if they manage to make Dijonay either redeemable or likable in at least one way. It sounds like an impossible feat, but who knows? It could happen. But I'm not gonna hold my breath, because as it stands, Dijonay is definitely the worst friend ever. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video. What'd you guys think?
Alright, let's just go about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Until then, peace out.